Okay, so good day. Today our topic is about portfolio, performance, measurement, and attribution. So this this is the process of evaluating how well an investment portfolio achieves its objectives and identifying the sources of its returns. No? So this framework allows investor and portfolio managers to
Kay
assess
Doc ba yun?
whether a
Nawala
portfolio
ata.
is meeting its goals.
Yes po. Parang nawala
Can you
po.
hear me?
Wait lang. Ayun po, okay na po,
Wala
Doc.
po
Medyo
kayo
malag
total.
lang po.
Okay. Okay, so once again, portfolio performance measurement and attrition is the process of evaluating how well investment portfolio achieves its objectives and identifying the sources of its returns. So this framework allows investor and portfolio managers to assess whether a portfolio is meeting its goals, such as beating a benchmark or achieving a specific return target. So while staying within acceptable risk labels, it serves as a cornerstone to for informed decision making and accountability in investment management. Again, so performance measurement involves calculating the portfolio's return over a specific period. And this typically expressed in percentage terms and can be measured on the absolute basis or relative to a benchmark. So metrics such as total return, risk adjustment return, and the common compound annual growth rate are used to assess performance. And these calculations also include adjustment for fees, dividends, and other cash flows, offering a clear picture of how the portfolio has performed. And to give us more details about the topic, let's all welcome our presenter.
Okay po. Thank you, Dr. Abante, for that introduction, and good afternoon. Good afternoon also, dear colleagues. So my topic for today is portfolio performance, measurement, and attribution. For a while po. So our learning objectives for this afternoon is to define and explain the significance of portfolio performance measurement and attribution in investment management. So compute absolute relative and risk-adjusted performance metrics such as Sharpe ratio, Treynor ratio, and alpha. Third is to evaluate portfolio performance relative to appropriate benchmarks and market indices. So fourth is to decompose portfolio returns into asset allocation, security selection, and interaction effects using attribution models. So what is, again, performance measurement and attribution? So this aims to measure portfolio performance to identify the sources of that performance. These are central to investment analysis and portfolio management, helping investors and portfolio managers assess the effectiveness of their investment strategies, identify the sources of returns, and improve future decision making. So in this topic, it is all about evaluation and assessment. So understanding the drivers of risk and return in a portfolio is a critical part of investment process, as well as the informative tool for evaluating whether a manager's performance is due to luck, style drift, or skill. So in this topic, we're going to learn how are we going to evaluate and assess manager's performance, or evaluate the portfolio performance, and also reasoning out on how to determine the success of the portfolio. So speaking which, portfolio performance management involves quantifying the portfolio's returns and assessing its risk adjustment performance to determine its success in achieving investment objectives. So These are the following key components of how are we going to assess and evaluate portfolio performance. So number one is the return metrics. So it has two main components, which is absolute return. It measures the overall gain or loss of the portfolio over a specific period. So this is the computation. So absolute return equals to ending value minus the beginning value plus the income divided by its beginning value. So with regards to the relative return, this evaluates the portfolio's performance relative to a benchmark. So for example, an index or a peer group. So its computation is the relative return is equals to portfolio return minus benchmark return. So seeing the difference, absolute return, um, overall performance of the portfolio over a specific period, while the relative return, it is based on the benchmark. So the second is the risk metrics. Um, the components of portfolio management is identified or evaluated based on the following key metrics, which is the first is volatility, the total variability of returns or the standard deviation, the value at risk or the potential loss over a specific period at the given confidence level. And the third is Sortino ratio, which focuses on downside risk. So the last one is the risk-adjusted metrics. This is the Sharpe ratio, Traynor ratio, and the Jensen's alpha. So we have the following computation also, which are used to evaluate returns relative to the level of risk taken. So for the Sharpe ratio, it measures the return per unit of total risk or the standard deviation. So the computation for the Sharpe ratio will be Sharpe ratio is equals to portfolio return minus risk-free rate over the portfolio standard deviation. For the Traynor ratio, it focuses on returns per unit of systematic risk or beta. So for the Traynor ratio, computation is the portfolio return minus risk-free rate over its beta. And for the Jensen's alpha, it quantifies the portfolio excess return above what the capital asset pricing model or CAPM predicts. So the alpha is equals to portfolio return minus the risk-free rate plus beta times its market return minus its risk-free rate. So next topic would be the performance attribution. Based sa report ni Ms. Jaisel, attribution is the process that dissects the portfolio returns to determine the sources of performance, providing insights into how decisions contribute to outperformance or underperformance. So these are the following process na nagagamitin natin para malaman yung mga sources ng performance ng portfolios and paano nagko-contribute yung mga um, reasons or mga underlying sources na yun para makakontribute sa performance ng portfolio. So these are different attribution methods. First is the Brinson attribution model or the equities. Second is the fixed income attribution. Third is the factor-based attribution. And the last would be currency effect for global portfolio. So let's discuss this one by one. So the first would be the Brinson attribution model, which are the equities. So in this model, it decomposes returns into number one, asset allocation effect. So it evaluates the impact of over or underweighing asset classes compared to the benchmark. So it uses the benchmark to determine the allocation effect. So the formula would be allocation effect is equals to the portfolio weight in segment and the benchmark weight in segment and times the segment return minus its benchmark return. Second, for this model is the security selection effect, which measures the effectiveness of choosing securities within asset classes. So the formula would be the selection effect is equals to ano nga ba yung portfolio weight in segment versus times the portfolio return in segment. So the third would be its interaction effect, which captures the interaction between allocation and selection decisions. So the next model would be the fixed income attribution, which in this model, the performance is attributed to the duration management, which gains or losses from positioning along the yield curve. Next would be the yield curve shifts, which impacts of parallel or non-parallel shifts in the curve. Third would be the credit spread effects, which gains from narrowing or widening spreads. And the fourth would be the sector or issuer selection, which where the impact of picking specific sectors or securities. So next model would be the factor-based attribution. In this model, it breaks down the performance based on exposure to factors such as equity factors, the size, value, GDP growth. So these are the factors kung saan nagbe-base yung evaluation and assessment. So next would be the currency effect. Of course, foreign exchange movements on portfolio returns has a great impact and significant impact in the effect in portfolio management. So what is the role of these models in investment analysis in portfolio management? So number one, its role is for strategy evaluation. So it helps determine if the portfolio aligns with investment objectives. For example, its growth, income, and preservation of capital. So it also assesses portfolio managers' skill in generating alpha. So next would be its impact on the decision making. In strategic decisions, long-term allocation across asset classes. So in tactical decisions, short-term adjustment to capitalize on opportunities. So yun. Ginagamit siya for the managers to know their strategies and also help in decision making. The third one is also the risk management, which helps to monitor whether the portfolio adheres to predefined risk limits. And it also identifies unintended exposures or risk, for example, in sector or currency concentration. The fourth one is for reporting and accountability. Offers transparency to stakeholders about portfolio performance. So it also benchmarks serve as reference points to evaluate outcomes. So, the portfolio measurement and performance attribution based on this following four roles and advantages really perform and perform a great impact in the portfolio management. So what are the tools and techniques used for this performance measurement? So these are the different software platforms that are used. Morningstar, the FactSet, Bloomberg, and MSCI Barra. So they are the software platforms. These are the models used for equities, the Brinson-Fackler, and for the fixed income, the duration and spread model. For visualization, of course, dashboards for tracking performance, trends, and attribution. So familiar naman siguro tayo sa different dashboards and different graphs used to visualize different datas. So that's it for my report. Thank you for your attention and listening.
Thank you so much. No, a while ago, no, I mentioned about performance measurement. We have, of course, performance attribution. Performance attribution goes a step further, no, by identifying the sources of the portfolio's returns. It breaks down performance into components such as asset allocation, security selection, and market timing. So for instance, a portfolio's outperformance relative to a benchmark might result from superior stock picking in a specific sector effectively, no, or effective adjustments. Effective adjustment, as I mentioned, and in sector weights based on market conditions. So through analyzing these elements, attribution provides insights into what worked well and what could be improved in the investment strategy. Another critical aspect is risk attribution, which evaluates the level of risk taken to achieve the portfolio's returns. So metrics like the Sharpe ratio and tracking error measure how efficiently risk was managed. This analysis help determines whether the portfolio's return justify the risk taken, providing a deeper understanding of the trade-offs between performance and risk. No, so risk attribution actually also assess in ensuring that the portfolio aligns with the investor's risk tolerance and long-term objectives. So therefore, portfolio performance management and attribution is an essential process that enables investors and managers to assess, understand, and improve investment outcomes. So through providing a structured evaluation of returns and risk, it ensures transparency, enhances accountability, and foster continuous improvement in investment strategy. And this comprehensive approach ultimately supports more informed decision making and better alignment with financial goals. Okay.